Trying to build an app, are we? Well, you could go and compare the two best AI app builder options, Base44 versus Hostinger Horizons, all by yourself, but it's going to take a lot of time and your hard-earned cash. Or you could just watch my Base44 versus Hostinger Horizons comparison, completely free, and by the end of the video, know exactly which no-code app builder is for you. So, would you like to know more? But before we start learning how to build an app with AI, if you'd like to try either platform yourself, you'll find the links in the description below. You can also scan the QR code on screen for your convenience. Okay, so for this test, let's build an app with AI tools. For example, a subscription tracker app. Nothing overly complicated, but realistic enough that most people could actually use it, and I could actually make money from it. Now, the prompt itself is intentionally simple. I don't have hours to spend crafting the perfect instructions. Let's be realistic. We want the robots to do most of the work, if not all of it. So, after entering the same prompt into these platforms, both Base44 and Hostinger Horizons generated a working app in roughly the same amount of time. So that's a good start. However, almost immediately, some interesting differences start to appear. Starting with Base44, the first thing I noticed was that it looked like a real mobile app. You know, it even generated demo subscription data automatically. So the app already felt kind of alive before I touched anything. It sort of created a working demo rather than a mock-up. Hostinger Horizons took a different approach. The interface felt more like a modern web application, but it started completely empty. So no sample subscriptions, no demo content, just a mock-up waiting to be filled. Now, to make the comparison fair, I manually entered the same subscriptions into Hostinger Horizons that Base44 had already generated. And just to confirm everything worked properly, I also added another subscription to the Base44 version. At this stage, both platforms successfully delivered a working app from the same prompt. So, which one was better? Well, you probably noticed that Horizons is focused on web applications while Base44 is focused on mobile apps. No approach is right or wrong. So if you're a complete beginner, Base44 will deliver a more complete product without your interference. On the other hand, Hostinger walks you through the entire customization process yourself, ensuring that the final result stays as close to your vision as possible. So if you'd like to test these builders for yourself while watching, you can find my special discount links in the description. So our apps are built. Now let's move on to editing. What I like straight away is that both platforms offer a quick way to search between preview and edit modes. The best thing about Base44 is how much you can edit directly on the page. It feels almost like editing a Word document. I really like it, not only because it speeds things up, but also because it helps beginners better understand the editing process. Hostinger Horizons also supports real-time editing, but mainly for text. If you want to change styles, layouts, or for example, this visual element, you'll usually need to use the AI chat and submit another prompt. Not a bad approach overall, but I found that most of my editing time with Horizons was spent describing what I'm even talking about. Oh, and if you need a full Hostinger Horizons tutorial, do let me know in the comments. All right, another advantage I can give Base44 is its version history. You can move backward and forward through previous versions of your project, making experimentation much less risky. You see, these versions exist separately. You can change one previous version and check it out, but keep the current version intact. It's a smart idea to protect beginners from accidentally nuking their app. Hostinger Horizons includes rollback functionality, which is good, but it's designed more as a recovery tool, which isn't as good, mainly because once you go back to an earlier version, the changes made after that point are lost. When you understand how it works, it's easy, but at the start, it can be a bit detrimental, especially compared to the Base44 approach. All right, but we need more challenges, so let's give both platforms another task. So I asked them to add a new section to our subscription tracker and see how they handle it. This section is going to focus on statistics to show which subscription the user has and for how long, and the results are actually pretty great. Both builders quickly created a new tab and integrated it into the existing app with minimal effort. Now, this is going to be very subjective, but I kind of like the design and structure that Base44 created a little bit more than Horizons. Both are clean and minimalistic, but Base44 feels like a more finished product. Now, if you want to see that for yourself, again, the discount links are in the description. Now, if you remember, I said that one of these builders is more focused on web applications. Yeah, well, this also plays a big role in publishing your apps online. So if your goal is the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, Base44 has a major advantage. See, if you want to publish to app stores, you have to wrap your web app into a mobile app. Naturally, this can come at a cost and need for external tools, but not with Base44. It recently introduced a way to handle this process much more easily, allowing users to wrap their apps through a prompt-driven workflow. There's also like a bunch of extensive documentation explaining how to publish apps on both Google and Apple's platforms. However, it is worth mentioning that you'll need a builder plan or hire to access this functionality. All right, so what about Hostinger Horizons? Since it is a web application provider, it kind of focuses on getting web apps online quickly. For some projects, that's amazing since it's easy to host and launch app with AI without requiring any third-party services. And there are many other benefits such as NVMe storage drives for faster loading and free SSL certificates to keep your apps secure. Now, the good thing about this is that users can access your app instantly in a browser without downloading anything or registering anywhere. It's convenient, which might help you get way more users than if you forced them to go through the app stores. For our example, it works wonders since checking subscriptions or booking is usually done through the browser. But of course, having an app in the Play Store will probably make you look more legit. And a lot of users like to have an app for everything nowadays. So it all depends on your end goal. Another benefit of Hostinger Horizons is its cost. It offers very affordable hosting and domain services compared to other providers and offers so many freebies that you can build an entire business around it, not just the app. The costs of building are surprisingly similar overall, though there is a noticeable trend. At the lower end, Hostinger Horizons tends to offer slightly cheaper plans, making it a smart choice if you want to experiment or build apps with AI tools for small projects. However, as you move toward larger applications or business ideas, Base44 becomes increasingly competitive and can offer better value. But to be fair, you're not going to overpay with either platform, that's for sure. And of course, if you decide to sign up, check the links in the description or scan the QR code. So, after spending time with both platforms, what's my final verdict? Well, when it comes to the actual app building experience, Base44 does have a slight edge. The generated apps do feel a little more polished right from the start. Editing is more flexible and App Store publishing is straightforward. That said, Hostinger Horizons is great for other purposes. It offers a more streamlined experience, integrates naturally with hosting and domains, and is a very affordable way to create web apps. So now, a question for you. Which best AI app builder are you going to pick? And what's your next $1 million app idea? Let me know. I want to steal it. Now, leave your thoughts and comments in the description. If you want a more detailed how to build an app without coding video or a full Base44 tutorial, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you later.